6. Law enforcement is certainly needed, but there are mixed feelings about law enforcement, and there are questions about how do you improve the relationship between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Well, joining us today is Mykah Montgomery. She's an author, a talented woman in many ways, talking about her latest children's book and an inspirational resource called Justice and Liberty, Do You See Me? Interesting title. Mykah, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
I'm loving the book.
Thank you.
Now, this is your fourth book.
This is my fourth book of the Okay to Be Different children's series. So the first book I wrote was called The Little Girl Who Wanted a Tail, and it was an inspiration about my daughter, right? They like the little ears and the tails and all of that stuff, but it took her on a journey to really embrace the fact that people thought she was different and to really know that that's okay. And when I started writing that book, what I learned is that it had a much more powerful impact than I thought it would be. I was really just chronicling her experience. But a mother contacted me and said, you know, the little character Millie in that book, she really inspired my daughter because she's a burn victim. And she really embraced the fact that the little girl who wanted to tell said it was okay to be different. So in that, you know, a few more books spawned. I did Isaiah Wants to Read, and it talks about a little guy who, yeah, he likes to go play video games and go outside and have fun, but he likes to read. And so in doing so, he overcame dyslexia because he really just kept it going and really liked to really push himself to read. The third is Twinsies, and Twinsies about twinsies, yes. And so it's a cute little story about an African-American little girl and a Caucasian girl, and they're like, we're twins. We're the same. Because she likes this and I like that, and we do this and we do that.
And we love each other.
We're the same. And they go through this journey where people don't really understand, no, that's not, you guys aren't twins. She's black, you're white. And they're like, look, I don't care what you say, basically.
We're twins.
This is how we were created. We're twins, and we're standing in that. Wow. And then Justice and Liberty, Do You See Me? Now, this is the fourth book, and I wrote it actually a couple of years ago. And it wasn't until last year that I went ahead and published it. You know, I didn't really want to do it at that time because there was a lot of unrest in the media and in the world. Right? And so with that, I didn't want it to be a book where it's like, you know, on the heels of that. There are a lot of things going on in our community with, you know, with law enforcement interactions that end up fatal and so on. And there are people who are really fighting for that injustice. And so for me, I've been tasked with how do we manifest what we want to see? Right? So this book is really about this little boy who is so innocent, and he's sitting in the park, and a police officer walks by him, and he's saying, do you see me? I see you. I think that you could be good. Do you see me as good? You know, and they're having this whole conversation. And the little boy's saying, when you were little, I bet you did X, Y, Z, just like me. And he wants him to really just focus on him as an individual. And if I can I read a little bit? Okay. One of the lines I really like are the parts about the book. He says, I know that all people don't do right all the time. Just because I may look like them, please don't assume their ways are mine. Give me the freedom to be the great person God created me to be. Judge me how I act, not the behavior you think you'll see. And so talking to him as, you know, as an individual, and that's so important. There are people who have bad behaviors in all walks of life, right? But to group people together as if they're all bad, as we know, that's wrong, essentially.
You're a very deep lady. That topic is very, very deep, and I'm glad you're writing about it. Now, before the Reading Roadshow.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so I have an organization that's called Leaders Are Readers, and I used to go to schools and have this whole experience with the kids, right? And so I'm going to be starting another Reading Roadshow in June. And I invite everyone to actually sign up, all the schools, libraries, or whomever, to sign up so that I can come as a guest author. And we have interactive games and raffles, and I read the books to the kids, and they love it. It's so funny because when I'm there, I feel like I'm the Pied Piper. I mean,
They're following you around.
I'm like, okay, all right, little kids. And they're like, hey, hi. This one little boy said, I give your book 5 stars. And then the other kid, the other kid, there's a competition now because all 20 of the other kids say, I give it 6. No, I give it 7. This one little African-American boy, he stepped up so cool. He said, I give it to infinity.
I'm dropping the mic.
I said, you win.
Dropping the mic.
You win.
You are a fascinating lady. I'm so glad you've written your 4th book right now. I just want to hold it because it's fascinating. It's wonderful. You'll like it. And I can't let you leave without saying her name is Mykah Montgomery. Her last name is interesting because your uncle was one of the greatest musicians anywhere. Wes Montgomery.
Wes Montgomery was my granduncle, that's for sure. Buddy Montgomery is my grandfather. Those are my people. I'm a recording artist as well. I just released my single. I don't know if you remember Paul Davis's I Go Crazy.
Yes.
I just released a version of that. You can get it on Spotify and Pandora and anywhere. Just search Mykah Montgomery, I Go Crazy. I do the video shoot tomorrow.
Really?
Yes, so pretty busy times.
And you're a wonderful lady, Mykah Montgomery. Her book, Justice and Liberty, Do You See Me?
Yes.
Fascinating topic. I claim success for it.
Thank you. I receive it.
And everything else you do. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mykah.